Oh my god. You are listening to the Super Snarky Podcast with Leisel Von Snatch and Alisa Starr. So, Leisel, I hear you have a story for us.
I mean, it's a story as much as it's more like me grasping with that I must look 35 now.
Is it the minimum age for a cop to hit on you?
I mean, I think you have to have a certain sense of indignation about you
in order for them to
be
relate.
found attractive by such fucking trash.
They're like, this bitch will get back up after I punch her in the face.
Right!
She'll think it's a brawl.
And, like, in the moment, too, when I had to, like, guess whether this cop is talking to me because I'm about to go to jail and this is the setup, or like...
Now I understand your final words to him.
I'm more like, no, so I'm not gonna go to jail for being a drug dealer. You're hitting on me. Oh, this is so weird. Can I go back to the first one? That seemed way cooler. Should I tell you I'm a drug dealer? I don't know. I'm very confused.
What is the social etiquette here?
But, I mean, I was at, like, the ghetto grocery store, too. I wasn't even at, like, the upper-end PCC.
And we all know cops make between 100 and 300K a year, so what the fuck was he even doing there?
Right, exactly. But my assumption is that there's a coffee stand right by the grocery outlet that I was going to that he was probably scoping, because that seems like a cop thing to do. And I knew somebody was walking around the vehicle parked next to me, but I thought it was the owner of the vehicle until I realized there was a cop standing right there watching me. Obviously watching me load my $250 worth of groceries into my vehicle.
Which you paid all of it for?
In cash.
In cash. Okay, so let's go back to his initial come on to you, because I enjoyed that part of the story immensely.
Yeah, I mean, he does that folded arms cop walk thing to the front of my vehicle.
No. Is that where he hit on you? Not in the store?
Yeah, no, I was loading groceries into my car. I had finished everything. We were not in the store. We were in the parking lot.
He didn't try talking to you in the store where it wasn't scary?
No, I didn't even see him in the store. I didn't even know him in the store. It was dark. I was out in my car, like, loading.
Oh my god! He's a cop! He knows
hilarity, rearranging protest signs that talk about the drug war in my car and a dog bed so that I could fit $250 worth of fucking ghetto groceries in.
Yeah, which he paid for in cash.
In cash.
And I don't like to call them ghetto groceries. I like to call them almost rotten food. Because that is what gross out is.
I mean, I don't buy things that don't go in the freezer.
Agreed.
Or that's canned.
But we are basically buying expired goods at a lower price.
We'll get back to this.
All right.
So he says to me, he goes, so you like that Coca-Cola water, huh? And I realized as I'm loading LaCroix into my car that he's trying to talk to me. He is not checking out my vehicle. He is not looking at, like, the rest of the parking lot, making a safety assessment, smelling my weed. Whatever it is. He's not doing any of that. He is talking to me. And I was like, yep, I sure do.
So he just stood there and made observations about the things you bought.
And then asks me, like, have you ever tried that, like, that thing where you can, like, I was like, carbonate your own water? Yep, have one at home, thanks.
What the fuck,
Like, I was obviously being awkward about it with him, too, in that, like, why are you bothering me kind of
But also,
tone.
like, when I use that why are you bothering me tone, it's partly because it's like, dude, come up with some better shit or shut the fuck up. Like, making observations about the things I buy while standing menacingly in front of my car does not make you attractive.
And this is the point that he leans against my driver's side door. I have the door just behind it, like the driver's side rear door open, loading stuff into the back seat. So there's at least a door between us.
Right. But
that's the only safety, and I'm definitely not even 6 feet. Like, this dude is not giving me 6 feet worth of space.
To be fair, you and I are both aware of the fact that most cops are wife beaters. A lot of cops rape people when they interact with them. And it goes underreported. So they're allowed to rape with impunity. They're allowed to beat women with impunity, and a lot of them do.
I mean, yes, but that's just part of my original dating propaganda piece.
Yeah.
Which is you don't date men in military, you don't date men in the police force or prison guards. They all have the highest statistical chance of being abusive. Right? Like, they definitely subscribe to Slapaho tribe, and I am not of the kin. Like, I got a strictly kosher pussy, and I don't fuck pig. Like, it's just drier than the Sahara, like, quick as shit. I see a badge, and I'm just like, you know, she starts whimpering and, like, crying about having chapped lips, you know?
I enjoy that we both talk about our vagina as, like, she's a bitch you just have to live with.
I mean, I have to take that bitch for a walk sometimes. Like, you listen here. You listen here. We're trying to have a nice dinner. You need to shut up.
She wakes me up.
But in that moment, like, knowing that there was a cop who kept, like, smile looking at me, you know, like, when that dude that you're fucking, like, looks over at you and does that, like
dopey, like,
smile, and you're all like,
so
oh, that's
glad.
Adorable. You're totally thinking of me naked with my tits right now. That's
yes!
Great.
Yes!
Right? He was doing that.
Ugh.
It was gross.
What did he look like? Was he hot?
No, that was the even worse part about it. Not that I have any fantasy of being put in handcuffs, because I've definitely fucking been arrested before.
Once you've actually been arrested, it's not
I've
hot
also
anymore.
kind of been thrown around by some of the, like, riot squad stormtrooper fuckers. Like, they just pick me up like a little girl, like, one hand on my back and just move me.
Okay.
Like 6 feet.
I enjoy that.
And that is the closest I've ever felt to being a ballerina.
Aww.
You know, like...
When guys just, like, one hand to the other.
No, when riot cops throw me at protests. It's the closest thing I get to ballerina.
All 90 pounds of you, yeah.
But this porker,
yeah,
had
porker. I get it. It's a double entendre. I don't always get those. 2 meanings.
This porker was not, like, super trooper with glorious glutes. No, he obviously had a dicky-do.
What does a dicky do?
It's where you can't see your dick when you look down. That belly is hanging so that even if you do the Donald Duck wiggle, right, you still don't even see it on the sides.
And, like, it's one of those, like, hard, pregnant man bellies that he can't, like, move aside to look at his dick.
I mean, and it's definitely one of those, if you were going to try to give fellatio, you would also have to do some heavy lifting with your hands at the same time to get in there.
Yeah, but the good news is he's not going to require eye contact while you do it.
And there is nothing more insulting I could think of than blowing a swine. Like,
whoa.
You know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
The closest I ever came was liking a firefighter, and those dudes are super conservative in a way that's stupid.
No, I hit on firefighters every chance I get.
I mean, I've actually
Male or
fucked some
female.
firefighters.
Like, I absolutely let them know that they're the
great.
last civil servants left, and that is hot as fuck. And if I was into servitude a little bit more, I'd definitely be into that civilian.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
You are more aware of the fact that the political and civil establishments have let us down for generations.
Right. Well, I mean, firefighters used to save, like, my mom's life and shit. EMTs are awesome.
Okay.
Like, I got a big love for those folks. But I fucking hate cops. I fucking hate cops
cops
so much.
Oh, we're disturbing him.
Perhaps he's still in class.
No. I saw the video games on when I walked in.
No, it's that Bobo who's asleep and he hasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, it's nice that you're being responsible.
Is the dog with you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Close my door. Thank you. Goodbye.
We exist.
We exist.
We exist.
So I don't even remember how it got to him talking about how Crown Hill is definitely different than it used to be.
I hate it when guys say shit like that. Okay, I had this nightmare scenario where this dude, hot Korean, big dicked Korean was inside of me, right? And he's like, so what do you think about, like, Campbell, which was the city where we met? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And still inside of me. And he's like, you know, how it used to be fields, and now it's, like, houses and stuff. And I was like, shut the fuck up! Why are you making bad small talk in the middle of being inside of me? And ever since then, whenever a guy makes bad small talk, I just want to punch him in the face.
Well, that makes new goals. Like, I can't be having you thinking about real estate while I'm fucking you.
I was talking to another big dick Korean later on about it, and he was like, I know what he was doing. He was doing baseball.
Oh, right. So he doesn't. So
he doesn't come. He was trying to think of the most boring thing he could, so he wouldn't.
Did I
come.
ever tell you that I've been trying that recently?
I thought you liked denying men pleasure, not you.
I mean, yeah. Well, that was before I was fucking someone. I literally cannot stop coming every time I have sex with them. Like, just fucking cannot stop.
It's funny because my neighbor also has that problem right now, where she's like, he just makes me come so much.
It's very
I
humbling.
don't always want to.
It's very humbling, right? And you feel sort of like a kid where you're like new to all of it. And you're like, wow, that's great.
I can't control my boners.
Yeah.
I used to worry when I was like a teenager that that I did have a secret penis because everybody told me I was too aggressive and I was too much like a boy. And that I was getting boners that people could see. And I mean, when I like somebody, I'm not subtle about it. So it's sort of the truth that everyone can see my boner. But that's just because I'm like, hi, how are you? What's up with you? What's happening? You're so great. Everything about you is so nice. We should be best friends. Why don't we hang out all the time? Everything about you is so nice. And people really notice that.
Yeah. Pretty big tell, I'd imagine. You know. Back to how I should have learned sports as a child.
What do you mean?
Because then I would have something to distract myself from coming. Because that's what dudes do. They think about sports or some kind of shit.
It's the most boring thing I can think
And what's worse is I don't do math either, so I can't fucking, like, do multiplication tables in my head or something.
Should we learn pi together so that you can stop coming so much?
I mean, we're going to have to do something.
I know it starts with 3.814.
We've been expecting men for the past 25 years to learn this skill, so I would be such a cunt if I couldn't figure it out.
I do not hold it against men when they come too soon, as long as they fuck me again soon.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You don't do that. You get mad.
No, it just depends on the partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
For
I mean,
sure.
it does depend on whether or not they were like, let me service you, because I know what's about to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Captain, my captain, is, by the way, the name of Liesel's person.
Undefinable.
Undefinable situation.
That
is
Alisa
what we call him.
Keeps trying to miraculously
Lover.
make in which a definition has to occur.
Yes, I want to define everything. And if there is a relationship I don't understand, I'm going to narrate it until it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
So back to the pig. So he's leaning against your door.
Yeah, leaning against my door. We got to some conversation about Crown Hill. I didn't want to tell this douchebag where I fucking live.
So you were like, yeah, Crown Hill's so different now. Down the street over there's a bunch of new stuff.
No, I actually was like, Crown Hill, this is Greenwood. I knew what he was talking about.
Are you lost, sir?
I know the area is technically considered, like, it's a voter little area.
Yeah.
It's not considered Greenwood. It's considered Crown Hill.
Okay, all right. So you were being a little bit of a dick. But he was still continuing on this boring conversation. Like, I don't care if you're hitting on me and I'm not into you, that's cool. But if you try to hit on me with the most boring small talk in the world, I just want to punch you in the dick. I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to fuck you. Like, you're making me want to fuck you less with your words. Either come with something interesting, try to get to know me as a person, or fuck off.
No, you're a cop. Just fuck off.
Agreed. But if he wasn't a cop, if he was just a random guy, like, this is what I want from every guy. I don't care if I'm gonna fuck you or not. I don't care if I'm gonna talk to you or not. Just fucking come correct. Just fucking bring some game. Mac, for God's sake.
He stayed leaning on my vehicle as I took my own grocery cart back.
He didn't offer to take it back for you?
No.
He didn't offer to help you with your groceries.
No.
He didn't offer...
He didn't do anything other than, like, sit there and talk to me.
In an intimidating fucking way, waiting for you in a dark parking lot in front of your car.
I finally get back to my vehicle from putting my cart back, and I was just like, excuse me, sir, but I must go now. On that off chance that maybe I'm on fucking camera somewhere, and that clearly if I'm about to get mugged, raped, and murdered, like, there would be, like, evidence of, like, she didn't want it, she was trying to leave.
They're always like, so when he was strangling you, did you say no? They're always like, so he had a knife to your throat. Did you at any point say you weren't into that? You say he punched you in the face and the stomach. Did you tell him you didn't enjoy it?
He patted my hood of my car and says, you have a safe night now.
Jesus Christ.
It was very intimidating. It was weird. None of it was avidly sexual, but, like, it was just
creepy.
Fuck. Yeah. Then I had to go to Petco. And I was just like, I don't want to go to Petco. What if he's following me? Like,
I mean, Petco's the safest place to go if he's following you. Those service people at Petco are over friendly, and one of them would have hidden you in the back room.
No, they hate me because I'm that woman that comes in and asks for the last and all of the thing for my fucking boyfriend of a dog. Because I call my dog boyfriend.
Because that's the best name ever next to Clonopin.
Yeah, no. I thought I'd told you about that I had finally reached that level of Karen.
You
where
did
I
tell
asked
me,
a nice young sales girl to actually go and pack her stock to get me the wet food in which I desired for my dog, and she essentially told me to fuck myself. And then I was like, there has to be a store that has it, and she decided to send me to the bougiest of bougie stores right by a Whole Foods.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know,
she got me.
They charge you extra just because the retail of, like, the price of being next to Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So no, I did not feel like I had a lot of allies in Petco that evening. But the Petco was subsequently closer to the coffee shop, and I'm still trying to use those girls as bait for the cop, being like, he'll go over there. Maybe he won't follow me.
Maybe he'll find a hotter girl over there to intimidate in the parking lot.
For sure, though, for a minute, I was like, am I about to, like, get fucking, like, arrested? Like, is he biding time until, like, somebody
that comes along and backs him up from the 90-pound girl?
Well, I mean, no singular cop is going to arrest a small female by themselves. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. They would never do that. They would always wait for there to be someone else present.
I mean, it's good that they pretend like they're not raping people.
I mean... I would be way more concerned if it were a cop in your home rather than a cop, you know, I don't want to get in their cars, but their cars, everything that's happening in their vehicles are being recorded.
It doesn't seem to stop them from murdering people.
Well, they don't murder them in their cars. That's probably the first tell.
Oh.
Which
You're
is
so
why you
smart
clearly
about this shit.
essentially demand to be arrested or be set free. Like, that's the next step. As soon as the
Okay.
cop, like, if he wouldn't have moved from my vehicle,
Yeah.
the next step would have been for me to ask, sir, am I under arrest or am I free to go?
Mm-hmm.
Because if that's being recorded at any time, like, he has to provide me a legal answer.
Okay.
He could tell me that he is detaining me, awaiting,
Back up.
my ID or, blah, blah, blah. But he hadn't even asked me for my ID. So there was no professional stance on what was happening there. But it was weird. But he obviously wasn't, like, a detective either. Like,
you think a
he
detective
reminded
would have
me
had
of, like,
better
the
game?
beat cops from The Simpsons. Like, just fat-bellied, kind of, like, overbitey,
Overbitey.
overbitey.
It's funny because if any
Balding.
Balding and, like, shaved head, or balding and, like, leaving it alone?
Balding and, like, had shaved head.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fake out. I'm not balding. This is a
Yeah,
choice.
but was wearing the knit cap enough that it looked a little bit like a yarmulke,
Oh my god,
Where
I
it just
do
kinda,
like
like,
it when they're
poofed on the back.
accidentally Jewish, because I know that would, like, horrify them. Yeah.
No, again, like, this is a kosher pussy. I would have smelled if he was Jew. I would have known. I would have gotten the tingle and been like,
Oh.
why are you working for them? I don't understand.
They're oppressing all of us, not just me.
But no, he was obviously, like, corn-fed, Irish, fat American. In that just, like, type of... I don't understand how he's on the police force.
It's interesting that they don't seem to have any kind of physical standards.
I mean, aside from this summer, like, all the dudes fucking downtown were, like, strapped as fuck.
Were
Like,
actually very
prison
muscly.
fit motherfuckers out there.
It was a little eerie that they chose the best-looking, most in-shape men to guard us.
There was this moment where I was watching a live feed, and it was a girl who was filming, and I realized that she was doing nothing but filming all of the butts of the police line. And I had to admit, I was like, it's the one area that's not padded, and some of those boys are representing.
Yeah.
Like, look at you.
Yeah.
You've been standing for a very long time, haven't you, officer?
The hundreds of thousands of dollars we pay for them to fight with us is working out. Some of them are using it to go to the gym.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not this gentleman. But all in all, it left me with a feeling that I must look old and conservative enough that...
How? You started dyeing your hair pink.
It's not all pink.
You've got dreads.
I know. I don't think he could see him. It was dark.
Okay. Does he just wait for women in dark parking lots?
I mean, that's my thought.
And
I don't usually go to the grocery store at nighttime. I'm almost always a daylight grocery shopper.
Interesting. I go at 1
And
in the
now I
morning.
never want to go during nighttime again.
That's crazy.
That is literally the worst incidents I've had at a grocery store. And I've been hit by somebody's car.
Yeah.
And that was still preferable to having to talk to a cop.
It just
for,
sounded
like, 3
terrifying.
minutes.
Do you think that there are some women who find
I
that
have
attractive?
met women who find cops attractive.
So,
like,
like,
they're into that.
They're into just...
They have some big dom
fat.
aspirations. Like, they're like, ooh, and I'm like, you don't know.
Yeah, that's not...
No. They're not going to let
into
you
that.
out the cage, girl. Don't do it. No.
That's not doming, that's abuse. It's funny how nobody can tell the difference.
I mean, yeah. And it's weird because, like, one of the only male respected figures of my background was my grandfather, and he was a cop.
Yeah.
But he left being a cop to go assist the fire department and told my grandmother, he was like,
No.
I can't.
They're too
I will.
racist.
This is too corrupt, too racist. They're taking brown bags in cars. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Which that meant at the time, like, taking money. You know, like...
Not just, like...
Like, cops were straight getting paid in windows for stuff, and my grandfather knew it.
Like drive-thrus.
Yeah.
Damn.
And this was back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Because he was retired Navy.
This is the difference, right? I grew up idolizing cops. Cop shows are my favorite thing. I know. This is why whenever you say stuff, I'm like, what? Whoa. Because you grew up with that guy as your hero. And he was a hero. The cops were too corrupt for him.
Yeah. I mean, he still was, like, loyal to the idea of law enforcement and, like, was very, like, adamant about
He was
the
like,
structure of it
that
needs to
force is
happen.
bad.
Was big about voting for the sheriff, like, you know.
Yeah, he still participated in the process.
And he was a veteran, so he was very, like, you know, the military should absolutely be more involved and, you know, they understand how to deal with these issues, blah, 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 blah.
Which does not sound good. That does not sound like civil
Well,
society
for
to
him,
me.
though, it was different. He was World War II generation in Korea. Like, he was coming out of the Great American War.
Yeah.
And he had specifically even placed his eldest son into a place of the Navy so that he would avoid going into actual active warfare in Vietnam.
Wow. That is some tough work right there.
I mean, sort of. It's like, it's white privilege.
Yeah.
In that, like, my grandfather pulled strings to make sure that his eldest son wouldn't die in a war that he knew was unjust and that people were dying in. So there was, like, this weird, like, respect for authority and for the will of the country. But at the same time, there was this, like, personal responsibility to you and your own ethics and values.
And he didn't believe that all of the police were corrupt. He really did just believe that it was just this little pocket of the world.
Yeah. And that happened, like, all the way up, and that was true. Like, Wenatchee cops were, like, incredibly corrupt even when I was a teenager.
But when you describe this small town, to me, it reminds me of this novel I read when I was a kid about this girl who woke up one day and it was just her and her 5 friends. They couldn't find anyone else in town. They tried to leave, and every time they left, a dust storm would envelop, and there was just a certain place they couldn't get out of. And they were trapped in this weird bubble that they mapped out around their town. And it was like a glass, like had been just enveloped her whole town, and she and her 5 friends were stuck there, and she needed an abortion, and it just got very dramatic. But at the end of the day, that is how you describe Wenatchee. That is, that is what I think of when I think of your town.
I definitely survived. I mean, it's inundated with law enforcement. And when I say inundated, the whole town is East Wenatchee and Wenatchee. And it is the same valley. This is a huge valley, and there is a river that runs right through the fucking middle of it.
That's why it's like that.
It's the Columbia River. It's the great river on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
Runs right through the middle of my hometown.
Okay.
So what that actually is, though, is a county fucking line. So you have essentially still one small town that is technically 2 different cities.
And there's a wrong side of the
2
river.
different counties.
Okay.
What that means, you have 2 sheriffs.
Uh-huh.
You have 2 police forces.
Okay.
You have state patrol. You have Columbia River Task Force Drug Agency. Like, you have more police and law enforcement in one small town than you normally would because it's 2 fucking towns on paper.
But I mean, the DEA with the river...
The Task Force Drug Agency is fucking huge. They run the whole Columbia River Basin.
That makes sense.
And they are a federally funded organization that works with local law enforcement.
Which means that you've got, like, city, state, and federal all trapped in this valley.
All trapped together right there in Wenatchee.
Because San Jose was a big fucking city.
I mean, I think the whole valley is actually, like, 14 by 9.5 miles. Damn. Right? Like, it's something stupid. It may be a little bit bigger than that, but it's so dumb that there's that much law enforcement. And there's never a time that you will be, like, driving around the town that you aren't going to see a cop on the road.
Okay. So, that's the other thing, though, is you can go your whole life in San Jose or Santa Clara
without seeing a cop.
Without meeting a cop.
Right.
Unless something bad has happened. And which is why we were, like, called the cops when we were teenagers, because, like I said, unless you called them, you never saw them. I lived in the middle class. I lived in a very diverse city where nerds who were Asian and African American, well, not as much, but Hispanic people were making a lot of money in Silicon Valley. It really didn't matter for a little while there what your race was, as long as you had an idea. People wanted to give you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So racism was kind of on hold while the money was good. And that was when I grew up. And the only cop I really ever had called was the guy who molested me in jail. He was nice to me. He was nice to my sister. He made things easier. He also made me feel like something bad had happened to me, which helped me process it a little bit. And like I said, I love good mysteries. Mysteries are my favorite thing on earth. And so I have watched every cop show that has been on TV. I watched Bill Cosby's cop show from the 60s when I was a kid, because I love cops. I love spies. I love mysteries. The whole thing. So it's interesting because it sounds like to me you run into every kind of law enforcement in Wenatchee, and you sort of like rattled them and were like, oh, you're corrupt too. Oh, you're corrupt too. Oh, this is like nationwide. None of these cops are different from each other. They're all racist. They're all like holding up the status quo.
I mean, I would still rather deal with a Seattle cop than I would a Wenatchee cop.
Yeah.
Still to this day. I was arrested up in Bellingham, and I've been arrested in Seattle. And, like, I would still prefer both of those fucking places compared to Central Washington.
What's the difference?
I mean, one, the chance of you might be getting arrested by a reasonable human being over here.
Wow.
I mean, the last cop that arrested me apologized when he realized it was my birthday. He was like,
oh my God!
I'm really sorry that it's your... That really sucks. And it was real. You could tell. He was just like... I didn't notice that when I was running your ID before.
What was he arresting you for?
A DUI.
Oh, right. That was the DUI. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was
a
protest
DUI,
arrest.
there was two. Which is why we haven't had liquor in 6.5 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's not exactly why, but it's a good thing I don't.
You were shitty drunk.
I mean, actually, I was very good at getting drunk.
But afterwards,
it's just everything after that's a little cloudy.
Yeah, kind of an asshole sometimes. Yeah. I gotcha.
But no, Wenatchee cops are a special breed.
Yeah.
And the judges in that town have a long history of also being fucking corrupt. Like, the whole system over there is pretty... But it's a small town. Lots of cop jobs up in that.
So they take anybody?
No. Like, there's not a single black person.
Whoa.
There's also only, like, 7 black people in the whole town of Wenatchee.
Which sounds smart, now that I'm finding out more about Wenatchee.
Yeah. My best experience with a Wenatchee cop was a Latino cop. And he was actually making fun of the dude I had just assaulted.
I like that this is a story about a fight with a dude.
Also a grocery outlet story. By the way.
You have a long history with gross out, huh?
Yeah. But this is gross out Wenatchee style.
What the fuck? You like it was it was 14
the
square
only
miles.
way that you will have a greater demonstration of white trash is to go to the Wenatchee Walmart.
Yeah. I mean,
but
I mean, like the San Jose Walmart wasn't untrashy. Like that's just a trash place.
I happened to run upon a dude that hit his girlfriend in the grocery aisle. I fucking started screaming at him. He started walking towards me, and we were in the laundry aisle, and the only thing that I had in my defense was a very large box of Arm & Hammer fucking laundry detergent. I hit him, and it powdered like cocaine everywhere, and there was very quickly some employees, the cops got there very quickly.
So when he punches his girlfriend...
He slapped her.
But when he did that, nobody came.
No, they were still arguing, like, and she was crying and grabbing at his shirt, and I don't even remember what I first called out at him, but I was inciting a fight for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he just slapped her. He was coming at you.
And I was more like, wow, you guys just do this shit in public, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. I guess we all do this shit
Perhaps
in public,
we
too.
should acknowledge you're in public, so
Yeah.
now I get to have a response.
Maybe you should hit her at home. Maybe you shouldn't hit her
And she
here.
was screaming at me, too, like, telling
Yeah.
me to mind my own fucking business and shit. And I was
yeah.
just like, oh, girl.
Yeah, a woman who's just been hit is not going to be nice to you.
But he had a warrant. He had a couple warrants. So he got arrested.
Yeah.
And he kept screaming at the cops that he wanted to press charges against me. And the very little Latino cop that was putting him in the back of the car says, yeah, buddy, are you mad at that little girl because she fucking hit you with some soap? Are you fucking mad about that? God. I can't fucking wait to tell everybody downtown about how you got fucking hit by soap before you went to jail, Holmes. Before.
And he's covered in it, right?
Yeah. To be fair, I was too.
Like cocaine.
Yeah.
You get to see the white powder just
Poof,
through the
everywhere.
That sounds really fun, actually.
It had a handle. It was heavy.
Yeah.
It seemed reasonable at the time.
Yeah. It was your weapon. It was your weapon of choice.
It was right there. It was just one of
yeah.
those, oh, big dude.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I? All right. And it was
For
done.
me, it would have been kitty litter. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was my best cop experience, was that cop, like, dogging on him. Just putting him in the car. And they wrote me an incident report number and said that I may end up having charges pressed against me. And nothing ever came of it.
Your Honor, she hit him with soap. He was so clean afterwards. You need to clean up, so I clean you up for you.
You know.
You beat your woman in front of you. In front of me, I make you clean.
So yeah, that's I've had some fun gross out
Damn.
experiences in my life with police. I suppose.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wonder what I would have done if I saw a man hit a woman in public.
Yeah, I mean, the only other time that it happened, I almost crawled over a Dairy Queen seat.
That sounds about right for Dairy Queen, actually.
Yeah. And I was on so much drugs. I was on so much drugs, too. My friends were like, no,
Yeah.
we're leaving. We're
Yeah.
leaving right now.
Yeah. I feel like it's a different climate right
I think
now.
we went there entirely just for dilly bars. Like, that's how high we were. We were that type of high. Like, had to have the dilly. You know?
I don't even know what that is. We had real restaurants in San Jose. You had to go really far to go to a Dairy Queen in my experience.
When Angie had two.
Yeah, we would go 100 miles and see a Dairy Queen. It's crazy because, you know, I grew up, even as a kid, we would just, like, people would just drive to San Francisco for fun, 60 miles away. Like, on a whim. Sometimes I would just go to San Francisco to, like, hang out in a bar over there. And it's just, wow, yeah, we should be smoking. Oh, you want to smoke cigarettes, though? Yeah, because that is your favorite thing. All right, well, thank you very much.
The story has deteriorated.
This has been Super Snarky. Super Snarky is brought to you by Snarky Cards. Real fucking cards for your real fucking life. Cards like, Dear Lydia, can we skip the fight and go straight to the fisting? Sincerely, Alisa. And other cards that can help you reject people who aren't good enough for you. Like, Dear Lydia, you're a great lay and a terrible person. I hope you get hit by a car and someone you love has to unplug you. Sincerely, Alisa. Get these snarky cards and more at snarkycards.etsy.com.